Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. We kick off a four-day week here at Aqueduct. Andy Serling, soon to be joined by Anthony Stabile, who's to my left. Looking forward to today's action. 8-race card today, 8 races tomorrow. We'll have 9 on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, of course, a mandatory payout on the Empire 6. Also, the cross-country pick 5 will be back on Saturday. There'll be 2 races from Tampa. Races 8 and 10, races, 7 and 9 from Oaklawn, as well as our 7th race. I'm actually taping a podcast tomorrow morning to discuss that, some more detail on that. You should follow on Twitter, get information there. Meanwhile, you should go over to Naira Bets if you're not a member. Head over to nairabets.com. We will match up to a $200 deposit bonus. Use the promo code Big A to enjoy all the many wonderful things that Naira Bets has to offer. The Gotham Betting Challenge, that will close 2 weeks from today, March 5th. $500 buy-in for that. For more information, the Gotham Betting Challenge, go to naira.com/challenge.
What's happening?
Not a whole lot. How are you?
You a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan?
Mixed. Wait a second. You watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, but you've never watched Seinfeld.
I don't like Seinfeld, but I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know.
You've never really watched Seinfeld, so you've gone from I never watched Seinfeld, now you don't like it.
I've watched and don't like it.
Is that like you pretending to watch that replay that you didn't watch the other day?
I've watched it. Oh, I watched the replay the other day.
No, you didn't.
How'd you and Emily do? Well, I don't like Seinfeld.
Oh, you picked a winner?
I don't like Seinfeld. You picked a winner? But I love Curb.
You picked a winner?
Now, Christine.
That's what we're doing now in the show? We're bragging about a random winner you picked?
I thought you were talking about the
It's going to be a very long year for you with this nonsense.
I thought you were talking about the Avellina. I thought you were talking about the Avellina replay. Anyway.
No, the one you didn't watch that you pretended you watched.
I don't like Seinfeld. I do like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know quite a few people that are the other way around. It just reminded me of that the first episode of the year. You cleaned your glasses before we came on the air.
Well, I don't know how clean they are.
It was a terrible job, but that's part of the
Well, you can't really clean
the first episode, Larry
anyway.
gets accused of sexual harassment because he takes his assistant's untucked shirt and he cleans his glasses with it.
Curb Your Enthusiasm wore me out. Larry David's need to incessantly prove to everybody that he was the funny person at Seinfeld. I knew he was the funny guy in Seinfeld before Curb Your Enthusiasm started.
The last 2 seasons, I like this. I like the first few episodes I've seen this season. Kind of got me back.
But he doesn't watch Seinfeld.
I don't like Seinfeld.
Now he doesn't like it, but as many people know.
I mean, how could you have not seen? It's like saying you've never eaten an apple in your life. Well, you're going to come across an apple.
I'm not sure you want to go in that direction. You had an apple? How many apples have you eaten?
I'm down 22 pounds. I've had plenty of apples.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Worry about my apples. Okay. Apple, a little cinnamon
fruit,
at night.
I don't think fruit's really been a major part of your diet.
I have probably went 38 days without at least having 1 piece of fruit.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of blueberries, bananas, and apples.
Blueberries are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
My oatmeal in the morning.
Okay.
It's been good.
All right, I'm glad to hear it.
Thanks.
Okay. Anthony and I will be bragging about winners going forward.
I'm not bragging about winners.
I'll be mentioning his losers.
I thought you were talking about Avellina.
No, I was discussing a replay you pretended you watched that you didn't watch. Anyway, race number 1.
Oh, the Fletcher horse that won.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. You pretended you watched that one. We know you didn't watch it.
I did?
No, you didn't.
All right.
No, you didn't.
Whatever.
If there was a poll on Twitter of how many people believe that you watched it would be, you might get 8%. You'd be lucky to crack 10% in that poll.
By all means, let's go to Twitter for the validation.
That's where all the truth is. The truth on Twitter. Race number 1, we'll look at Enough Love and Midnight Banker. You prefer Midnight Banker. Presumably, you picked this horse because you didn't want to offend your friend Mike Sanuso.
I picked this horse because this horse is supposed to just get in front of these horses, and if Enough Love off the 16 months is the biggest challenge, well, then Enough Love's the biggest challenge, and I just think Midnight Banker could take him flag fault, and that's all today.
Okay. I disagree. I think that Enough Love is a considerably more likely winner than Midnight Banker. I think it was a mistake that Jose Lezcano went inside with Enough Love. This was a day where you really didn't want to be inside, and deciding to cut the corner and save all the ground really affected Enough Love's performance. And I think Midnight Banker decidedly benefited from dynamics last time out. Whether or not the 6 gets loose or not, I don't really know. Last time was the only time the horse showed significant speed. Maybe the horse will show it. The same thing here. I don't think it'll matter. I think Enough Love is a much more likely winner. We'll see what prices these 2 end up. Like David, I think they'll be very, very close.
Yeah.
As far as the firsters, not a lot to go on. But the 4, New York City Dancer.
Half of your boy.
That's right. It's horse I have to Arthur's Hope. So maybe this horse will have speed.
Yeah, we'll see. Dave Duggan doesn't run a lot of first-time starters. We'll see what happens with his horse. If she's as fast as her big brother, Yeah, you'd figure test some speed, and welcome Romero Mirage to the colony. He's going to ride the 2. Any day is her day. This is his first ride here. He still has the 5-pound bug, and it's good to have a Mirage.
Just because he's related to Rajiv doesn't mean I'm going to be nice to him.
Well, nobody expects you to be nice to him.
Consider himself warned. And, you know, if Rajiv had responded to my last text to him, I'd be more inclined to have been nice to him. But after I never got a response to my very kind text to Rajiv, I could really take it out on his cousin.
Guilty by association.
I could take it out on his cousin. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Guilty by association.
What is his relationship to Rajiv? Is he a
cousin?
Cousin? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we do wish him the best of luck. I kid. Race number 2. To be honest, in race number 2, I don't really have much of an opinion in this race. We'll show you Royal Albert Hall, one of his 3 career wins in the Bernardini last year. I'm not inclined to want to put a horse on top that's just 3 for 44 lifetime, but at the end of the day, I just didn't like anybody else in this race, and it does feel that you've got speeds with the 1, 4, and 5. It's hard to imagine any one of them just gets away with an easy fraction up front.
Impossible, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not impossible, Anthony. We're in the land of grab, where there's 3 speeds and some random slow horse wires the field in a slow pace. We've seen it a sickening percentage of the time.
I would assume. You know what Felix and Oscar? We know what Felix said about assuming. I would assume
You're actually closer to Felix than you are to Oscar, believe it or not.
I probably am.
Yeah.
I probably am.
Yeah. I'm Oscar.
Yeah.
I'm both.
Your office is pretty neat.
I'm also annoying. My office is neat because somebody cleans it every night.
Then you're Oscar. My assumption is this lines up 4, 5. The 4 and 5 are in front.
What about outplay? You don't think outplay's going?
I think the intent, especially last time, and I know they went fast last time.
They did?
Well, they went fast enough last time.
They didn't go fast.
It looked like he was grabbing, right? I mean, it looked like he was trying to get him off the pace.
That was his 6 furlongs.
Yeah, I know, but if that's the intent, if the intent is to get this horse off the pace, I don't know. I sort of 4 and a 5 in front of the 1 and maybe the 2, and then I just, however you shake a stick at it, it's got to be a good. There almost has to be a great setup here for Royal Albert Hall.
No, there doesn't.
Wow.
It just doesn't.
Don't 2 of them have to hook, Andy?
No.
You're really that convinced that of those 4, 2 of them don't hit?
Apparently, one of us has been paying attention.
I know what you mean, but
no.
Do we see it where 2/3 of the field have speed?
Just take over. Seriously, I could go back and get a slice of pizza downstairs. I'm happy to.
It smelled delicious. All I'm saying is
you can't eat it. You're busy eating apples.
2/3 of the horses in this race have early speed. 2 of them almost have to hit early.
No, not a chance. Around here, there's almost never any kind of, and when we get speed duels, they come out of nowhere. They come in races where there didn't appear to be any pace and a bunch of people committed. At least one of these 3 has already committed to not going to the front, and the other one will back out too, and Majid will end up trying to wire the field. The problem with Majid is he's totally phony. His wins were phony, and his recent form is bad, but he has been running against much better horses.
Yeah. He had that dressed-up win in the Easy Go when the track was speed favoring, and yeah, I know. And his form has tailed off so considerably that he's kind of hard to trust at this point. But I'm
not leaving speeds out of this race.
I know you're not. I don't like him, but I'll say this: he's going to be a good enough price where you probably don't want. If you're not convinced there's going to be a speed duel, he's the one you have to like out of the speed.
I prefer of the speed Siding Spring because I think he's the best dirt horse of any of these horses. And for people who think he's just a turf horse, he's not. He actually ran well in the dirt early in his career, and they decided to make him into a turf horse. But he actually is talented on the dirt. So I thought he was the more logical of them. I even think American Lincoln maybe get a trip. I think a lot of people were scared of American Lincoln because of the trainer change, and that's understandable. But he's not impossible. Royal Albert Hall is a drawing away stable horse. All I know is that every single drawing away stable horse that's gotten bet in the last, 6 months or so has run remarkably well.
Even some of the ones that didn't get. I mean, the 2 times Vickers Legend won, he was a big price.
Those horses are all just
Twisted Tom paid $30.
The drawing away horses are running through walls. It's a fact. Doesn't matter who trains them because there's a plethora of different trainers. But if people are paying attention, I know a lot of people look at owners. The drawing away horses are running remarkably well.
Here right now, they have Orlando Nota, John Toscano has horses for them. AC Avila has horses for them.
Rob Atras has horses for them. Well, I guess nobody can claim from them. I guess nobody can claim from them. Give them enough trainers, nobody can claim from them, right? Race number 3. does appear on paper to be somewhat of a two-horse race, and we'll look at Impetuous running against Notorious Flirt. This is when Notorious Flirt won, Impetuous was fourth. We'll show you the start of the race. Impetuous was the number 7 here, didn't break and then got shut off. You can't really see it in the pan, and rushed up to contest a very fast pace in a race that fell apart. And we did see More Grateful. Now, the one thing that helped Impetuous, he was outside this day. I thought Notorious Flirt, though, got the better trip.
Yeah, the day Notorious Flirt got out of the maiden ranks. It also was Impetuous's first start off of a 5-month layoff.
Well, he was going to win this race if he didn't get shut off at the start, and the pace wasn't incredibly hot, so he actually ran well. I would argue he actually ran as well, if not better, in this race.
He ran a winning race, like you said. It just gets, gets a little tired late in the game after having to overcome the start. This is a big effort. Notorious Flirt got the setup. We talked about this race last week. Notorious Flirt got the setup. More Grateful came back to win on President's Day, and then Impetuous came back to win and essentially just toyed with a bunch of maidens. Another one, unless Mission Wrap It Up finds some more speed, Impetuous is supposed to control on the front end in here. And
what about Hold My Call?
Well, yeah, the ball shoe comes off, but another horse, he went to the bench, and since he's come back from the bench, he just doesn't have his speed anymore. We'll see if the foot was bothering him. If the bar shoe comes off, maybe he finds his speed again. But I'll tell you what, based on recent form, Impetuous looks to have the controlling speed in here, and I think has this bunch, quite frankly, over a barrel as far as position goes.
I think he's the best horse in the race, personally. Notorious Flirt, I actually thought Notorious Flirt's last race was not a good effort. He had a very good trip in that race. He was just sort of sitting there, and he really never had any forward momentum. He was just badly outrun in a race that was collapsing in the late stages. He could win. One of those two will win. For me, when Notorious Flirt beat him, and he beat him that day by 4.5 lengths, I actually think Impetuous ran the better race of the two.
He had everything go his way, right?
Yeah, he was outside. The inside wasn't the place to be that day on December 28th. I think that Impetuous ran very, very well that day, and just thought he was the better horse. And as you say, it's hard to make a strong case for anybody else in race number 3. Race number 4, I would have changed my pick, but let's start off with Dancers for Token, the horse to beat. This is beating Kingfish and Moonlight Now. I have no argument against Dancers for Tokens. I think this horse is the horse to beat in here. Trevor McCarthy's riding this horse. It's certainly not a bad rider switch on a horse who's run well and ran well against opens last time out. Much better horses last time out. I have no argument with this horse. I know that my friend David Aragona felt that Moonlight Now had a tough trip in this race. While I thought he had a little bit of trouble, I don't really agree that it was significantly bad. But I think you have to be a little concerned that Moonlight Now is the controlling speed in here. I just think that the number 7, Dance for Token, is significantly better.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven that he's just a little faster, right? I mean, not a little. He's a lot faster than him, quite frankly. And I think we keep waiting for Moonlight Now to, the Half the Giant Moon and all those Alfred horses.
I wasn't waiting. You said we.
I think
you might be waiting.
I have a couple of friends. We've all been waiting.
I haven't been waiting at all.
We've all been waiting. And this horse. Quite frankly, this horse has never really run a good race.
I agree.
The
only good decent figure he got is a race where the figure came up fast, and it's become a little bit more debatable over time, given the performances by Financial Stability and Freaky Styley subsequent to that race. Kingfish, I don't know what to do to him. Maybe a mile's better. He's just not that good. Now, hold off on the stat. Why did you pick Clever Fellow?
I picked Clever Fellow. Well, if we could just wrap up Dancer's Token for a minute, this is a horse that's been double digits in almost all of his races. They can actually take even money today. And again,
you think it'll be even money in here?
What do you think he's going to be?
I don't know.
David has him 7 or 5. I can't imagine.
I think it depends. It depends. Relax. It depends if Fast Gordon gets bet. It depends if Clever Fellow gets bet. Maybe he will be, but the point is, he's supposed to be a short price in here. I'm not saying. I mean, he was probably too big a price at 20-1, 2 back. He wasn't too big a price at 10-1 last time, given who he was facing.
No.
I mean, he's supposed to be a short price in here. You think he's an underlay at 6-5? You think he's an underlay at 6-5?
No, that's probably what on paper. That's probably what he should be.
So then I don't think it's really a problem. It's one thing to be betting a horse at 30-1 and have it come back at 2-1 and say, well, I bet it last time at 30-1. It's not a horse you've been betting on.
No.
So I think it's a much different argument. Why do you like Clever Fellow?
Listen, he's first off the layoff. He caught a sloppy track first time out. He ran him 7 furlongs. He's a fresh gelding, and he's just I don't want to say a fresh face in here because you have some horses that really, a couple of firsters, some horses that haven't run a lot. But I mean, I just wanted him. Chad Brown, obviously, the barn's going well up here. He's left some decent horses up here. This horse is New York bred. I just want this horse as opposed to Dances for Token. It was really hard for me, like you said. I guess we could see what's going to go on with Fast Gordon. But
well, we'll get to him in a minute. I'll show you the stat on Clever Fellow. If you look stats up, 250+ day layoffs in what is it, with maidens off of in dirt. 250, yes. It's 9 for 24 a year plus. He's 4 for 6. This horse has been off over a year. These horses seem to come back and run respectively for Chad Brown. A lot of them have bad lines. Now, I have no idea if they like this horse first time or not. If he's supposed to be a runner. I guess as well. Fast Gordon. Fast Gordon, we'll take a look at Fast Gordon's work, 21 1/5. This was a pretty impressive work by this horse, the 2-year-old sale. Sold for $350,000, and given this horse's pedigree, an alpha, this was a lot of money they spent for this horse, and this was an impressive work. Asked a little bit, but boy, they weren't that aggressive after the early stages. This horse really ran. Now, it's taken a long time to get to the races. But I know Linda doesn't win with a lot of first-time starters, and maybe starting out of miles, just horse doesn't have a lot of speed. I'm still a little scared of this horse. I'm not going to be surprised when this horse is a runner.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I put the horse fourth.
I know you don't.
I feel like, February of the 4-year-old year, I think he's an alpha. I don't know. I feel like if
it's okay to say I don't really have an opinion. It's okay.
No, I don't know what else to say.
Anyway,
about
I thought the
horse.
2-year-old workout, which you're going to pretend you watched that too?
I think watching 2-year-old workouts could probably be the most useless thing to do in preparing for.
Well, based on your vast experience of watching them.
Based
on your vast.
I've watched 2-year-old works?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I actually don't.
You don't think I've been at sales where they were 2-year-old
You choose
works?
not to watch them, which is fine, but I don't think,
You're bringing up no offense, but you're bringing up a 2-year-old work 2 years later.
No.
This was 4 years old.
I understand. It's still important to point out why.
I was 100 pounds once.
Okay,
I was 4, but I was 100 pounds
Let me ask you a
once.
question. I know that delving deeply into the PPs is against your principles, but let me just ask you a question. Don't you think it's odd for somebody that actually spent the time just looking up this horse's pedigree, why this horse sold for $350,000?
No, I mean, listen.
Yes or no?
Doing the work, no. Doing the
So
work
you don't
is
think
going
it's
to,
odd? Okay, so let me just
Andy,
let me just revisit that.
Just let me say
You
what I'm
don't
gonna say.
think that somebody that paid $350,000, you don't think it's odd if you look the pedigree up for this horse and went, wow, they paid $350,000?
What would you
don't
give
think that's odd?
I
You think
don't- I
that
don't
somebody says
agree.
that's a moron?
But what I'm saying,
well, I know why they paid. Those
what I'm
alphas they're going for top dollar, Anthony.
This was a 4-year-old in the middle of February.
I understand.
You're looking at a work from 2 years ago. Do you have any idea? And I don't know anything about
I don't
this
know
horse.
anything about any of the horses or first-time starters, but aren't you supposed to look up whatever information you can possibly find? Aren't you supposed to use any tool at your disposal?
I'm going to tell you
How
why.
can having a tool not help you in some way?
Because that version of Fast Gordon cannot exist right now, having taken 2 years to get to the
Anthony
races.
is giving out 10,000 to 1 on Fast Gordon if anyone's interested today.
See,
come by the
this
studio.
Is what I mean.
What do you mean?
Because he can't be that same horse.
Maybe he's better.
Yeah. They've been sitting on the powder keg for 2 years.
I don't know, Anthony.
You know
I don't know how looking up more information can possibly be bad. You can evaluate it, and I don't think your comments are wrong completely. I'm not telling you I totally disagree with you, but I don't think it could be bad to know what his 2-year-old sales workout was.
I don't know if it's relevant anymore. That's all I'm trying to say. If this horse was a 3-year-old, this is, Andy, it's 22 months. Do you have any idea how many things can happen to a horse in 22 hours, let alone 22 months?
There are a lot of people, listen, you think the fact that a horse finished first at a sloppy track race
and
ran 5 lengths worse than he runs on a dry track race is relevant. I don't,
Do you know
but
how many times in my life, my father never had any real good horse. Do you know how many times I've walked into a barn? Do you know how many times I've walked into a barn and something has gone wrong with a horse overnight that you couldn't even dream up in your mind? even dream up in your mind.
And the point to that is?
So much can go wrong that we're looking back on something that happened 2 years ago.
I still think it's not a bad thing to have information.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Fair
I would
enough.
bet this horse because it worked well at the sale. I don't disagree with what you're saying. It's not in principle wrong, but what you're saying that there's no reason to even look at it. You think there's no reason to look at it?
I wouldn't, but that's me.
Okay. I know you wouldn't. But you watched that replay the other day, the Pletcher horse. It was easy.
Yeah, I watched the Pletcher replay now.
Okay. Race number 5. We'll have to agree to disagree on a lot of this. Race number 5. We'll take a look at the race that New Year's Wish and Our Circle of Love ran when they met 2 races back. And New York Wish did not break at all this day. Now, what's interesting is she broke last time, and she ran considerably worse. We'll get to that in a moment. I think that of the 2, I prefer New York Wish. I know that Our Circle of Love is loose, and maybe she is the more likely winner. I'm going to believe that the New York Wish that we saw in this race is probably better. You don't agree. You don't like New York Wish at all.
I don't. To be honest with you, she just looks like a horse that I don't know. And I know she ran well enough in the 2 prior starts. Last time worried me because, like you said, she broke last time.
So, but why does it not worry you about Our Circle of Love?
What do you mean?
Well, Our Circle of Love ran abysmally as well. They both ran badly in that last race.
Right, but one of them has now broken out of the gate poorly in a couple of starts. That's usually a sign, especially with fillies and mares, of them going a little bit sour. And now she ran well enough, she won. And she ran 2 decent figures. But I don't know, it just the 2 bad breaks and then combined with just she broke last time, and that was just a terrible effort last time.
It was.
I think there's a big difference between her bad effort and Our Circle of Love's bad effort.
Why?
Because one of them is getting into some bad habits after having
but she didn't display
8-month layoff.
But she didn't display the bad habit last time.
But then she didn't run.
Okay, but neither did Our Circle of Love.
It's a downward spot. Yeah, but it's a down. But one of them hasn't been having bad habits, and I mean, look.
But New York Wish didn't have the bad habits last time.
I know that, but she ran poorly. And it's the whole. It's all encompassing. You go from the bad habits to not putting forth a good effort, and it just, to me, makes me think that maybe she's a little sour on doing this right now.
Okay. Wouldn't Linda make a real drop with her, though, if she didn't have confidence that she'd run well?
I don't know.
I mean, you think Gypsy Janie raced to beat her? How's Gypsy Janie possibly going to beat her?
I think if she
Gypsy
has
Janie
to,
was about as lucky as the horse could get last time. She ran a 72 buyer.
If she has to chase Our Circle of Love around there, and she doesn't
Chase.
if she doesn't want to do this anymore.
Chase, you think it's going to be a wicked pace out there?
No, but what I'm saying, if she's got to follow her around there.
I hope she does follow her around there. I think she follows her around there in the slow pace. I think she'll run her down. I mean, so what do you? I'm sorry. You think she's? What do you want her to do in this race? What can she do to be successful?
I don't think there's anything at this point.
You don't think there's anything she could possibly do to be successful here?
To steal one of your lines, yeah. If Our Circle of Love hits her face coming out of the gate and she gets in front, maybe she can.
Can I bet you that she finishes ahead of Gypsy Janie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we're at 44.
Yes.
Okay, I'll bet you 2 lunches. The 2 beats the 1.
That's a deal.
Okay. Okay, so we're at 46 lunches. Got a lot of late money. That was a weird one the other day. Our bet on Saturday was you guaranteed.
I forgot to bet.
Sunday. No, the horse was. My horse was a shorter price than the double. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Will I get you on a wire?
I just don't see anybody. I don't understand Gypsy Janie at all. I'm going to have Posse needed third because I love Posse needed.
I know you do.
It's hard for the winner of this race, in my opinion, to be anybody other than the 2 and 4. I don't disagree. It's a concern. They both ran poorly last time. I don't know. It's almost like that race existed in some odd universe. Honor Way came back and ran horrendously out of it. Seguro Row ran horrendously out of the race.
Man.
Maybe the horse that ran well will run badly, and the horse that ran badly will run well. It's something weird about that Interborough race because both Our Circle of Love and New Year's Wish were horrendous.
Horrendous.
Absolutely
horrendous.
Pitiful.
They were horrendous.
Right.
No doubt about it.
And it's one thing if one horse fails to show up one day. It is strange how both of them completely and totally failed to show up.
How did you
and
have
they both
the
had good
track?
trips.
I mean, yeah, she got to go essentially walk on the front end, and the other filly was just sitting right off.
I had the track fair, and the rail was probably okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't have
there you
anything.
I don't know. I mean, at the very least, you could say, well, maybe 7/8 is a little tough for Our Circle of Love, but she didn't run from the quarter pole home.
She's been fine at 7 furlong. I mean, she stopped. Right.
I don't know what happened last time.
Right. As you say, if she tired the last 16th of a mile.
I don't know what happened last time.
They were
it's a
both
weird
horrendous.
race.
We'll see if both of them bounce back today. Race number 6. Start out by looking at Justice of War. Is that like a name from some show you watch or something? That's like a. Game of
No,
Thrones.
I don't know what. No, if anything, this would
Well,
be
you don't
like,
play video games, right?
I don't. No.
Do you ever play video games?
I was old school. I was old. I was.
Tetris. You still have like. You still have the. What was it? The
Game,
ping pong?
my Nintendo Game
Pong.
Boy right now has my Tetris in it. It probably hasn't been out of my Tetris cartridge. Hasn't been out of my Game Boy.
You never
probably
used Super
for 15
Mario
years.
Brothers?
I was the great. I would put.
I never got by the last one with like the helicopter
There are very
thing
few
or the submarine.
things I am better at in life than Super Mario.
Okay,
Brothers.
this is Just a War winning this race. I guess he's
Yeah,
sort
that's
of
a good
logical
stat.
here. Linda does have those good numbers, 15 for 46 now because she had a loser here the other day. That horse in the rail that was over bet, the one horse in the race that Benji Hernandez came back on the two for Pat Quick. I just thought a logical horse. I have nothing against this horse. To me, I thought one of three horses would probably win this race. Impunity, Cause of Action, Just a War, and to be honest, as we segue and we'll take a look at Impunity finishing second, 2 back. I thought Impunity had his chance to win this race 2 back. As he gets back to Orlando Noda's barn, the race fell apart. Did he move a little soon? Perhaps a smidge too soon. I can't fault the rider.
This was the answer to our trivia question the other day, too,
yeah,
by the way.
I know. He told
Orlando
us.
came on Twitter, yeah.
H-Man was 1 second time of a laugh. The horse I didn't understand that David had a short price was the 3, Charge Ahead. Do you really think they're going to bet on this horse?
I can see them betting on the. I don't prefer this horse, but I can see them taking some
can't run
action.
in the dirt.
I mean, yeah, he took a ton of money last time, though, right into Saratoga.
Crazy
Didn't fire
money
the other
last
day.
time.
It was crazy money last time.
Crazy money.
Listen, I don't know. You and I had this race very similarly. The one thing, Hudson Overpass, who has been one of the most notorious slow horses.
It's time for me to get some pizza.
These maker horses that have speed, these maker claims that have speed, I'm always a little leery of them. And I don't want to let this horse beat me at $20 in a race where I, quite frankly, don't really trust
20.
any of them.
He should pay $420 if he wins
He's not
this
going to
race.
pay more than 25 if he wins.
He's not going to pay more than 25. He's not going to win. But the only thing I'll say about Hudson Overpass is, honestly, why did he claim him, and what is he doing in this race? Because, frankly, I think it's a crazy claim, and I have a lot of respect for Mike Baker.
I don't disagree.
But Anthony, his numbers off the claim in the dirt are
But
not
listen,
very good.
this is what you would say to me, right? And I'm not looking to fight with you about this. This horse is going to be 12-15. This horse is going to be 10-12 to 1.
He should be 10 or 12,000 to 1 on his PPs.
He makes none of it makes any sense because it's not like you say,
I understand.
well,
I understand. You're saying I
he's
take
a
the horse because he
Verrazano.
makes no sense and he's off the claim.
Yeah.
But Mike, it's not like Mike Maker has any numbers that back up that being a wise guy with his horses off the claim is smart.
But do you truly trust any of these horses?
I'm going to text Mike Maker and ask him if he even knows this horse is running today.
I don't think you give these guys and gals enough credit. I think
You don't think I give Mike Maker enough credit?
I don't think that.
I give Mike Maker a lot of credit. I think Mike Maker's one of the sharpest guys out there.
I think they know everything that's going on. They're successful because they know everything that's going on at all times. At all times. I interviewed Steve Asmussen 2 weeks ago. I interviewed Steve Asmussen for radio 2 weeks ago. He was talking to me about horses that were in it. I can't call you at this time because I got a horse in at Fairgrounds, and I can't call you at this time because I got a horse in at Oaklawn. But I have a time between 3 and 3:20. Can we do it at the top? And I was I was so impressed because I went and looked at my form, and sure enough.
He's so gracious. Race number 7. Our top choice scratch from race number 7. This race gave me a gigantic headache. I guess Intoxicologist is the horse to beat now off the layoff to wire the field. I'll show you Michelle Nevin's stat. I got to tell you something. I don't trust this horse at all.
No,
Michelle's got dreadful numbers off layoffs. This horse is dropping in for a quarter. This horse stinks. I mean, there's an odor. This horse has a bad smell. I don't mean it's a bad odor.
We say caput.
This horse just, and I get it, Ant, and I picked the horse third, and I scratched it in second, and you can't leave her off, but you want to take this horse? It's going to probably be a short price now?
This late pick 5 ticket today, I will have one ticket where I have an all button.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you.
I don't know.
I looked at this race and tried to make cases for horses like Causing Trouble and different horses. Trust me, I struggled. I mean, Nasty Affair, we'll take a look at Nasty Affair. This is, I think, 2 back for Nasty Affair, finishing second. I mean, Nasty Affair is a complete plotter in a race that has no pace in it.
None.
But I got to tell you something, even with that scenario, this could be an unbelievable stagger fest down the stretch. Would you agree?
Yeah, with Princess in Charge out of this race, which is why she can win.
Right.
She can win because you know what? Maybe if they go slow, maybe she's 4 lengths off the lead instead of 10 lengths off the lead.
No, she's such a weird horse.
I know she is.
She's a weird horse. She takes her. I mean, even that race where she won at Saratoga, that miracle win, she didn't even. I mean, had to start. She kind of took herself out of the race. She's a weird horse.
You see that comment? Sluggish, hesitating,
Yeah,
broke slow.
she's-
She just kind of falls out of there, and sometimes that doesn't. The pace isn't going to matter. If she just gets away from there slowly, they might go 49, and she might still be 7, 8 lengths off the lead.
Oh,
and
Anthony. They'll be going 49
Well,
if not slower today.
if they're going to be going 49, then I probably
The track was
slept.
faster on Sunday, though. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Track got a lot. On Monday.
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 Yep.
Track was much faster.
Yeah.
What about Pedalite?
Pedalite. That's
you don't
why
even
they're
have
all
Pedalite in the top 4.
And I should have probably.
You got First Dawn fourth.
I should have moved her up after the scratch. Dave
Donk's not going to be happy.
I know. And if you printed early, Junior
But
Alvarado.
Andrew O'William is.
Junior Alvarado's riding Pedalite.
Would we know about Cardenas? How much longer he's going to be out?
No,
I'll
but I know
ask
it's
PJ.
Junior was on this horse, and there was one horse earlier on the card that if you printed early like we did.
No, excuse me. Anthony only printed early because he happened to be in my office on whatever day we drew
Does
this.
that mean
and I
we?
said to him, "Do you want the PPs
Does
for
that
Thursday?"
mean we? Listen, when if
Oh,
you
wait,
can't.
wait. I just got a text. You ready? From Rajiv. See, my cousin started riding an Aqueduct today. A little late, Rajiv. Maybe the cousin texted him.
Oh, the horse
to be nice to me.
The horse in the first race, the 3, has Andre Worry. So those are your 2 early.
I don't think
late
Rajiv was
rider
watching
champions.
Talking Horses knows we're making fun of him.
Probably not.
I'm a little disappointed.
I don't know. Well, he's probably in a room.
You know, Angie's probably watching because she, unlike Rajiv, cares about her friends.
Yeah.
I actually am going to bet race number 8 today.
Okay. You going to bet 1 shot? Did you pick 1 shot today?
I'm going to show Carter's Got Sass because even though I made money in this race, you didn't. You didn't, right? We were talking about this afterwards. This is a remarkable loss. And this was a track that was extremely kind to speed. I mean, if this horse isn't the very epitome of stopping to a walk.
This is so filthy. This is such a filthy beat.
Almost 6.5
I mean, how this money spent? This money is spent. It's gone. Unbelievable. Getting cut down late in the game by the bond runner up the inside. And yeah, I mean, maybe the true definition of glutton for punishment is me coming back and picking this horse again.
I mean, he's still the horse to beat.
He is, but I mean...
Well, I know. The problem, but see, here's one for you, Anthony. This horse was 5-1, and you bet last time, and it's going to be even money today. This is a harder one to go back to than the Robbie Davis one.
Of course,
having said all that, this horse is a week the horse to beat.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't put up the stats. Greg Sacco has that first or combat ribbon. He doesn't have very good first-time starter numbers overall. And Dirty's 9 for 85, 4 for 31. This is the first fall from a dam that wasn't much of a runner. She got a 62 buyer in one of her starts. I'm going to bet 1 shot forever. A horse I liked a little bit last time, and this horse did come to life last time going a mile.
He did.
And I like the cut back in distance. To me, he's the only other horse I can possibly use in this race.
Yeah. They scratched him once when he drew the rail, which kind of bugs me a little bit. And he's breaking from the inside today, but he gets Kendrick back. And I mean, can you really knock any? There's probably 4 horses that could win. How can you knock any of the horses that could
It's
rate any
hard.
kind of
I mean, I think the question is, listen, Carter's Got Sass is probably going to win. I'm not going to argue that, but no way I'm putting him on top.
No.
I just can't do it.
No, I don't. I mean, I had to, but I don't.
But even his quit last time is probably going to be good enough to win this race.
Right, cutting back to the 6. Yeah. I don't know. I still get nightmares watching that.
Any interesting action this weekend? I looked at the races for the, because I'm taping that podcast with Scott Carson tomorrow morning.
I don't believe they were able to fill the Hutchison.
Well, let me ask you a question. Was riding a 3-year-old non-winners of 1 at 7 furlongs on the same day as the Hutchison, was that helpful to filling the Hutchison?
Absolutely not.
I'm not a racing secretary, but...
I was getting the weekend stakes preview presented by Naira Betts ready for HRN last night.
The non-winners of 1's a fun race, though.
Yeah, I kept looking for it. This is
They're
one of those.
thinking of
This is
bringing
the
it back
quiet
in
weekend.
August.
This is the quiet weekend, right? There's no Triple Crown prep. There's no Derby prep this weekend.
What's at Santa Anita?
The Buena Vista. No Triple Crown prep this weekend. Kind of quiet. Down the dusty road, which I believe will be
The Arkansas Breds,
Yep,
part
the
of
Arkansas
the
Bred,
handicapped it.
Yep. Part of America's Day at the Races.
Oh, we got to go. We're done.
Oh.
Put up a Naira Betts thing, and then we'll get out of here. I didn't realize it was so late.
I know. I was having so much fun with you today.
It was such a good time. And keep in mind, listen to Anthony Stabile. Eat a lot of fruit.
Eat a lot of fruit, folks.
will match up to a $200 bonus if you new member at Naira Bets. Use the promo code Big A. Think fruit and think the Big A.
That's me.
Yeah.
The Big Apple. Big A.
That's right.
There it is. See all this? All fruit right here. It's all fruit.
Because baseball starts in like 6 weeks.
First Met telecast is spring training game is today's the 20th.
Are you going to Florida again this year?
No, please. Bite your tongue. I'll be right here with you, Booby.
Thank God.
The
Still
first Met
recovering from you
telecast
leaving
is
me for a
on
week.
PIX on Saturday at noon.
Wow. All right. We're done. Johnny I up next. What race you calling today?
Third.
Third race for him. So get the mute button ready. Johnny I with the reprise, the scratches and changes.